Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you want to be a lurker, go ahead and lurk. That's also totally cool. It is a Tuesday. Normally, on Tuesdays, we do something that is not model kit building. Play some video games, watch some old wrestling, talk about anime seasons come and gone. Hey, it's Lashbrook is here and Mr. Bob is here as well. Welcome, welcome. But we can't do that because I ended up doing something on stream yesterday that was not model kit building. That's right. Instead of streaming here on my home stream, I was streaming over with the fine folks at Loading Ready Run. And I played Jackbox games with them, and it was really fucking fun. It was great to see some people, to work with some folks I haven't worked with before, to say hi to people I haven't seen in quite some time, digitally or otherwise. It was lovely, and I had a very good time with it. So, because I did that yesterday, it was almost like my Tuesday bonus stream. And then today, I could be like, all right, we got to get into this. We got to get back into it. I have some of the Gaza-C done. The Gaza-C will be one of the kits that I'm working on during Plastic Model Weekender, which starts on Thursday, basically directly before my set on Thursday. And you can see I also have the Farsia. Got the Farsia all done. Farsia is looking gorgeous. And I have the Gaza-C that we're starting. And now a very unique thing for the Build with Baer Workshop. I'm going to finish this kit when we're done tonight. I will continue working on that kit tomorrow in my own time, in my off hours, so that it will be done for Thursday, a thing I don't do. Normally I build a kit, I might do a piece or two here and there outside, but I don't normally work on model kits outside of streams because I build model kits 6 hours a week. So that's very rare for me that I'll be working on a kit on my own time, but it's necessary for Plastic Model Weekender. Aristocrat just resubbed at for 1 month, at Tier 2. That's 56 months on a 56-month streak, saying 7 times 8 is the most difficult multiplication problem. Indeed. So let's throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site emote into chat. Thank Aristocrat for so many goddamn months of being a subscriber. 56 is ridiculous. We're actually gonna let the claps play out. And then, I actually have a new sound effect that I'll be using. I added something to the board. I removed the toilet flushing sound because I really only use it when I'm annoyed, and I'd like to not be annoyed. So instead, I replaced it with this. Yeah. It's just a weird digitalized voice saying, yeah. Yeah. So I think there will be excuses for me to play, yeah, on more than one occasion. So now we have slightly quiet, says Aristocrat. Well, that's easily fixable. I can go in to Steam Deck, my Stream Deck, I should say, not Steam Deck, my Stream Deck, and I can edit and make yeah even louder. I'm going to... toilet flush is very Riker sound effect. Yes, I had it. It's honestly, the most we used the toilet flush was when Iron. There's a guy that comes in, Iron the Fourth. Iron the Fourth would come in with puns, and I would hit that. And I don't need to do that. You can just make the puns. Here we go. Yeah. Is that louder? Can we really hear the yeah when I press that button? Yeah. Ironhide the Fourth. That's what it is. That's full name. Not Iron Blood Orphans. Ironhide the Fourth. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I found that sound effect and I thought it was swell. Better, says Aristocrat. Great. So, before we get into working on this kit for the Plastic Model Weekender, a promotion about the Plastic Model Weekender. Put that right up there. I'm going to lean over here so you can see me better. And I'm going to tell you about the Plastic Model Weekender, which is happening April 27th, which is this Thursday, through April 30th, which is this Sunday, at twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. And you can find more information at Plamo here, Plastic Model Weekender. My shift will be this Thursday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. It says 10 a.m. Central there because Jason runs this whole thing off Central because that's where he lives. And since he runs the whole thing, it should be easy math for him. But for me, it's going to be this Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I will be taking these model kits and I will be making them look great with glitter. I got this glitter paint that's fucking fantastic. I'm going to be filling this shit all over the place with glitter. It's going to be great. These already beautiful looking kits are going to get so pretty and look so neat. And of course, while I am customizing these kits, I should say, not building them, while I'm customizing these kits, we will, of course, be opening random packs of cards from movies and TV and anime and sports. Various card packs that I have procured. I will be opening them. Every $50 raised cumulatively, I will open up another pack of cards. And I do so that you don't have to give $50 for me to open a pack. If you gave $15, somebody else puts in the other $35, bang, boom, done. Hey, guess what? Open up another pack of cards. And that's how that works. Hey, Harold, welcome. Harold, I assume, because it's a long stream and a Monday night, I'm going to assume you didn't watch all of my appearance on Loading Ready Run. Harold just cheered 10 bits. Thank you so much, Harold. We got to do the old cha-ching. Harold, I'm assuming you didn't hang out. So I want to let you know, Harold, in case you watch the VOD on YouTube later or the Twitch VOD, we did make fun of the state of Florida because there was a question about Florida. Yeah, left over job. Yeah, so there was a prompt in Fibbage 4 about a teacher in Florida. And so we did make fun of Florida. And as the only American on that stream, I did not really defend Florida too much. I said there are some nice people in there from Florida, but the state as a whole, not so much. Wanted you to know so you weren't surprised by it. And of course, Kathleen did give you a shout out for the bits that you gave during the stream. You got a shout out at the end for the bits. Yeah, that was, y'all, that was so fun. Oh, I got to retweet my tweet. I forgot I didn't do that yet. All right, I got to retweet the tweet. And then I got to look at this. Y'all, I had so much fun last night. It was, I'm peeking here. I'm going to turn my mic down. How am I here? Okay, that's probably good. But I was in the red there on my old microphone, friends, and I don't like that. So I turned it down. Hopefully it will be okay, and it'll be fine. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I mean, I had such a lovely time with the old Loading Ready Run crew. Have not done anything fun with them in quite some time. You are quieter now, though. Oh, okay, so was I too... See, I was peeking, and I didn't like being in the red. I've turned myself here. You all rock, so it was great to see you all in place. Yeah, I mean, like, Alex and I have met at a PAX, but it's that kind of delirious thing where I know we met, and he doesn't remember it, and that's fine, because it wasn't, like, eventful. It was just like, oh, I'm at the table next to you. Lashbrook, do I sound okay here? Because I was really peeking there, so I turned myself up a little bit more, but I don't want to be at the level I was there, because I was redlining. I'm going to be real distorted. Let me say. Yeah, so that was nice to spend some time with them. Of course, always fun to work with Ian and Beej and Corey, of course, Kathleen. Matt, I've worked with a little bit, but not much. Nelson, finally got to say hi, Nelson, because Nelson hasn't done the convention circuit, and I have not met him in person. I think we have chatted in, like, brief conversations before on the internet. Yeah, I had a good time. I met Alex twice at PAX's. Pretty sure he doesn't remember. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, he's sitting at the booth, and you just meet a ton of people. We haven't, like, paneled together, so that is the easiest way for people to remember each other at a convention, generally, is the old, is the meets, in the meet space, is when you're about to perform some comedy or otherwise together. But yeah, I had a really good time doing it. We didn't end up playing Pole Mine, which is a game I've never played on stream before, but we did get to play Job, which I like a lot, and Junktopia, and I really enjoy Junktopia. And I almost won. I was very close to winning Junktopia. I didn't stick the landing at the very end, but I got pretty damn close to actually winning a game, which would have been nice. It's okay that I didn't, but it would have been nice. All right, let's get a little marker on here. This is the weapons at the top of this kit that eventually will fold. I do want to show off this mechanic. It'll be easier to do once I have put on more parts, but I do want to show off this transformation gimmick. So this kit has partial transfer. Oh, these go on third. That's what it is. This kit has a partial transformation. It doesn't like turn into a jet or anything like that, but it does stop being a mobile suit that walks around, and then it starts being a stationary big gun. And to do that, this is the backpack. There we go. This backpack is going to end up turning, and so the head ends up sliding in here, and then it will pivot. And then this will go up to be the big weapons. So the head just kind of like hangs out in the body, which is very silly in a way that I can 100% get behind. So I was, I hung out with Loading Ready Run. We are in day 2 of 4 weird streams for Pat. Because, of course, we had Monday with Loading Ready Run. Tuesday, my normal stream location, normal stream time, but I'm not playing a video game or talking about anime for 2 to 3 hours. I'm chatting with you while I build a model kit on a Tuesday model kit building stream. That's ridiculous, but true. That's what's happening right now. And then tomorrow, from 1 p.m. Eastern till probably about 4 p.m. Eastern, let's say 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's an afternoon stream, a very rare thing for me. Not on this channel either. I'll be hanging out over at Jeff Gersman's stream. Model building, I'm out. Indeed, Lord Crashington, I totally understand. Peace out. No, so yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Jeff on Jeff's stream. Now, why? Because I asked. I'll be upfront with y'all. I asked Jeff if there was a way that I could do something with him on his stream to promote Plastic Model Weekender. In the same way that I reached out to Graham and said, hey, I would like to do something again with y'all. At the end of the month, I've got this charity event, so it would be fun if I could come on and promote that charity event. Word did not get to apparently anyone beyond Graham about that part, but they were very gracious in letting me promote it. But apparently word had not trickled down that I was there for more than just, oh, it'd be fun to have Pat on. And he's good at Jackbox, or he likes Jackbox, so we can have Pat on. But Jeff understands that specifically I want to come on to hang out and also promote the charity event that I am a part of, which is very kind of him. What are we doing tomorrow? I think I'm just going to be hanging out while Jeff plays video games and like chatting about what I see and stuff like that. I think we have not really figured it out. I do not know if I will be on camera or if it will be an audio only, because certainly the easiest way for it to happen is for me to just be in the Discord, and I can watch in the stream and have a delayed vision of what's happening, and then I can just be talking into the in Discord, and you can hear me. That's probably the easiest way for me to hang out. I don't know. We might try guest star. I got Chrome. I can figure that out. So a normal Jeff stream where he bounced around. Most likely, Lord Crashington, it'll be a typical Wednesday stream for Jeff, where he tries out a few games that he's interested in. Fridays is either new games or old games that he just wants to play because it's been a while. But Wednesday often is some new releases or releases that he hasn't gotten to yet that he's kind of wanted to explore. All right, we got our first rubber piece here. All our hoses are rubber, and I have panel lined these in advance because they were a fucking pain in the ass. Because it's rubber. It's tiny pieces of rubber, and I realized immediately that this would be very frustrating to panel line in the moment, so I just did it on my own time. Harold says, it's great that you have friends that support you. It is really nice. Like, beyond the internal gratefulness I have for people that are going to watch the streams, my regular streams, this charity event, anybody that spends any time supporting my nonsense. Okay, so how does this work? Where does this go? This goes here, maybe? I think this goes here. Yes, okay. So I think this goes here, and then 820 goes and locks in it. I will not be, but anyway, I'm really grateful that I have friends who are willing to use their larger reach than I have to help me on occasion. Certainly, I benefit greatly from last year. I was on the Ramblecast, which is one of the Patreon exclusive podcasts for Nextlander. That was very awesome, very kind of them to give me that opportunity. That was really great. And that was also a good way to kind of reach out to people outside of my normal reach and let them know about the event. I will not be reviewing any kind of energy drink tomorrow. I will most likely be drinking just water during the stream because I don't want to drink anything that I would not enjoy. And I also don't enjoy energy drinks. So, ergo. Bud, I will not be doing that. All right, so then this goes like this. This sticks in here because this is part of the chest, but it also is going to move like that. Oh. And then I got a B28. Like I said, this kit is weird, and I don't know. Get the chunky energy drink Jeff at one time. No, Lord Crashington, I refuse. I'm not going to drink any energy drinks tomorrow. But that's going to be a good time, I think. I think it'll be fun. I mean, it's always fun to shoot the shit with Jeff. Do I think we'll talk about wrestling? I'm pretty sure at some point we will, of course, talk about wrestling. Just because we'll be in conversation and it will probably come up. I will do my best not to talk too much about wrestling during that because I do know that some people don't want to fucking hear it at all. So, and since it's not going to be a wrestling podcast, we should just or wrestling stream. We should probably just like chat a little bit about other things. Okay, so then these pieces lock into there. And then eventually this is going to pop up like this. So I have to get these hooked in. And then filter it up. I'm going to grab a spudger here. And then there's some other stuff that's going on here. Oh, the other piece of the chest, the first parts we made of this kit have to go in. So this has to I kind of need 3 hands here. These little ends of the rubber have to kind of lock in here. All right, I got one in. Oh, and it seems to stay. Great. It should make it easier for the second one to get in there. Let's see if tweezers will work. Whoop. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to friend of the stream. It was there, Kumahara, my buddy Ian, who is joined in as as of like this weekend. He's going to also be building. I said performing, but that's not the right word. He will also be building during Plamo Weekender, which is rad. Um, Ian is a long friend of mine, and I'm very happy that he's going to be jumping in. Okay, so this has to fit in somehow here. Lock into place, and then we've got these hoses, and I have to nope. And I'm trying to get this locked in place here as soon as possible because I don't want these hoses to pop off because then I'll have to fix them. There, like that. Oh, okay, yes, there it is. That locked it in. Hoses are locked in place. That seems to look like how it's supposed to look, I think. Yep, you can see that in the picture. That's right. And then we've got two shoulders, and I think this is the shoulder with the laser or the fun light. So that goes in. This. And then this is the other side. And that goes in like, uh-oh. And that pops off and I get annoyed. All right, what else can we talk about here? Because I gotta get this on, and then we've got other things to shout out. Hey, Harold, have a great night. I will see you later, my friend. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon. Of course, also thank you for hanging out during loading around yesterday. What we got here? Okay, so, hey, we should talk about Twitter a little bit. I know. It's at this point, it's almost not fun. But I wanted to give you an update. If you don't use your phone as your primary Twitter application, if you primarily use it on the web, in a web browser, on your computer, your personal computer or your Apple device, if that's you, if that's your deal, then we gotta, what happened here? If that's your deal, then I want to recommend to you that you use the Firefox or Chrome extension called Twitter Real Verified. It used to be that it would just look at any Twitter user that was verified and let you know if they were a legacy verification because they kept the normal blue check mark, or if they were a Twitter Blue user because it would show up as a $sign. As then a $sign icon. Well, they have taken this a step further. They have gone plus ultra and above and beyond. Okay, and then it selects in there. All right, I think this is right. We'll fiddle with it if it's not, but this looks correct here. Our chest is now mostly completed, and now we have to build whatever the fuck this thing is. I think this is a big weapon. Yes, this is a weapon that attaches to the arm and is held. Hey, welcome, Ash. Happy to have you here. So, if you use the Twitter Real Verified extension for Firefox or for Chrome, it reveals the old verified check mark because they didn't mass kick a bunch of verified people. They just hid it. They hid it from in the API. And this extension returns it. So, if you are Twitter Blue, it shows up with a $sign. If you used to be legacy verified and it's been hidden, it will show up in Firefox or in Chrome. So it returns. Now, if you used to be verified and now you have Twitter Blue, it shows up as legacy verified. So that's the only difference. There's something unsettling about these pink cables on this robot to me. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird robot. It's got a lot of fun neon, but there are also these are all rubberized. They're just rubber, and so they got a flop to them that's a little weird. We're gonna be using another piece of that soon. I understand your displeasure. I get it. It's a little too fleshy. Yeah, I get that. It's also easy to tell who is Twitter blue because they are top of all replies. Yes, if you are looking at replies to other people and you're in their replies, the Twitter blue are at the top. But this way, the folks that didn't get Twitter blue, like myself, I'm verified again. Now, does that matter to anyone? To me, it kind of does, because it allows me to verify information without having to do my homework, right? Is a cheat sheet, right? Like, well, a verified account and not a Twitter blue verified, an actual verified account is posting this information. So I don't have to go, is this the real such and such? Do they have a link to their official website? When did this account get formed? How many people are following it? That kind of thing. You don't have to do that due diligence, which you now have to do without it, because like you need to vet. I mean, you should be doing your due diligence anyway, but you know what I mean. You're like, is this Neil Gaiman's account or not? Let me look. It is, which is probably a different thing because I'm sure he has enough followers. You get what I'm saying. It is certainly beneficial. So I do recommend if you use the if you're out there and you like using the web for your Twitter, you might want to pop in on that. That's my Twitter update. You know, it's not dunking on anybody. There's a whole thing about him and a private alt RP Twitter account that he has that I haven't been able to confirm it's if that's actual thing. So I don't want to jump into that because I have not done my due diligence because it creeped me out and I didn't feel like doing a follow through. So I didn't follow up on that. It seems to be real, says Ash. Yeah, like I said, I didn't do the follow up, so I don't want to comment too much on that. Because also, like, I don't know the content of it, so I can't talk about, like, in general terms, it's a real account and it's creepy. Yeah, in general terms, I should say that, like, RP accounts, you know, roleplay stuff, there are certainly lines that you can cross where it is not fucking cool at all. I have not checked out the contents for myself. I could just go on, basically, like, people were like, this is Elon Musk, and it's creepy. And I kind of left it at that, and I did not investigate further. But that certainly does not sound awesome. In fact, it sounds terrible. So, but again, I have not done my my due diligence on that investigation. So, and of course, you know, I don't want to be out here saying that, like, blanket statement, you know, you do you, everyone consents, you know, figure your shit out, role play, you know, figure out what's going on for you. But then, you know, if it's creepy and crosses lines, then of course that's not cool. But the very idea of someone having an RP Twitter account, I'm not trying to say, like, get the fuck out of here, you know. Because one thing that gets vilified a lot is that kind of roleplay experience, and people you know in your life, a safe way for them to explore other gender identities from the one that they were given at birth and perhaps have always considered for themselves but have questioned it is roleplay. Roleplay is a generally safe way for people to explore outside their presupposed gender identity and sexual orientation and all kinds of things like that. So in big terms, fucking fine, go for it. In specific terms, probably not cool. So we'll leave it kind of at that. B's most recent child, as far as talking about his third birthday while making weird comments. Seems he forced the owner of the account with the username to hand over their account. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous, right? Like, that's just being like, hey, I want to RP, it's this, but I need the username. I definitely need the username from you, other person. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these specifics here do not sound good at all. They actually sound fucking terrible. But, you know, I tend to want to just some blanket statements about roleplay in general. Because, you will see people be like, what the fuck is he bothering with any of this stuff? And it's just like, well, there are good reasons, There are valid reasons out there for a lot of this stuff. Obviously, the specifics here are not cool at all. But, yeah, that's separate, yeah. Let's see. On the grand scale of how much shit Elon done, it barely makes a blip, though. Yeah, it is just weird. It's just one of those other things where you're like, huh. All right, dude. Fuck. Before we move on to our other thing, just real briefly, I didn't talk about it at the top of the stream because I had a lot of, personal stuff to plug, so I couldn't really, get deep into this. But, hey, I'm currently at 34 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is always 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, gift a sub to somebody in the community, perhaps, I would love to get up to that big 4-0. We don't have to do it, certainly. You are not obliged to do that. But if you would like to, you're more than welcome. Of course, I will not be mentioning that during Plastic Model Weekend or on Thursday, but on Saturday, and my normal stream, the last stream of the month, I, of course, will probably end up mentioning it again because we're always trying to get to that big 4-0. All right, so what I have to do here is I have to feed it in like this, and then once it's in there, I have to turn it so that it kind of locks in place, which is weird, but sure. So I'm going to poke it through here. Okay. And then turn it, and then it did come out. So theoretically, not theoretically, but in practice, I have to make sure that I am not putting too much pressure on this. I also should probably use a different kind of poker to poke that in there. I have to just make sure that I am not putting too much pressure on this on either side so that it doesn't pop out, but it's probably fairly easily fixable. So we'll use this here. My $10 patrons, I will have a poll up for you tomorrow about what I should start on Saturday, because this kit I'm not going to finish on stream tonight, but I'm going to finish in my own time so that I can modify it for the Plastic Model Weekender. Okay, and then the other one fits in here. And then, oops, that's the wrong way. Shit. Oh. Okay, so this fits in here. And then this piece fits, where does this go? Oh, it goes up back here. Gotcha. And I have to then just stick it in there. Hell yeah. Okay, whoops. And then this popped off, which you don't like, but whatever, we'll get it back on there. This kit is all kinds of awkward because it is like weirdly intricate for a high grade from the 2006 or whatever. Sadly, I'm extremely broke, so I'm unable to financially support. No problem. Any of the streamers I know currently, I hope you get there, though. I appreciate that, Ash. Well, you watching certainly helps a lot. Being in chat when you can is always helpful. You're obviously not obligated to do anything, including you're certainly not obligated to have to contribute in any way other than just being here, right? And if you don't feel like chatting, of course, sometimes you certainly don't have to chat. But it is nice to have you here. All right, and now we're moving on to the arm. We're going to move on to one of the arms here. Both the arms. So we'll get into the arms. Let's see. We talked about all of that. Quick hit here. Congratulations to a friend. I don't know, friend of the stream, because I don't think Ben's ever been in chat, but friend of mine, Ben Pack. Shoutouts to Ben Pack, formerly of Giant Bomb, formerly of other jobs that were outside of games and gaming. And now Ben has accepted a job at Null Signal Games. Ben is now in, yes, Ben Pack. Ben is now in the nonprofit space. He is working with Null Signal Games, the nonprofit that are keeping Netrunner alive. And so, yeah, Ben is now working on Netrunner. It's very cool as hell, right? Yeah, he announced it on Twitter today, and it's rad. That is a exceptionally great place for Ben, not only being in the nonprofit space, but also working with NSG on a property that he clearly has a passion for. And I think that is phenomenal. I'm very happy for him. And also, they went in a great direction by going with Ben. What he's exactly doing there, not particularly sure. All the best, although, of course. And hopefully we hear more from him soon about his new position. Yeah. So that was just like some nice news, and it's always fun to share nice news because it's nice. So we do like that, and then all right, and you beat 25 and 24. Let's see other things. This is not nice. Need place to get a job. Totally. We do need to talk about. Ash still gutted that Hasbro killed the license agreement that enabled an ANR. Yeah. There's like big business decisions and other decisions that like, well, that just seems unnecessary. Like, I get it, but that definitely feels like one of those. We have to talk about Spark Joshi. So I'm going to talk about this from a number of perspectives. Spark Joshi is a new wrestling promotion that will be taking place in the United States. They've kind of been on social media since the end of last year, following people, trying to get a little bit of buzz ahead of their upcoming dates. They do have dates in June. They have a show in New Jersey, and then a couple days later, they have a show in Los Angeles. And if you're an event producer and you're someone that follows independent wrestling, you already are noticing red flags. The idea that a brand new promotion are announcing that they are doing 2 dates, days apart, less than a week apart, in 2 different cities across the country from one another, and you're like, that seems bad. They have announced 1 wrestler involved in the promotion for 1 event, Ram, who is doing who was at one time the youngest ever professional wrestler, who then retired from wrestling and then unretired after she was done with schooling. But Ram is going to be making her United States debut. She is in the Los Angeles show. And again, you're like, your first performer that you announced is not for your New Jersey show, but your Los Angeles show. And it's, okay, all right. Well, okay, this could work out. This could be something. Okay. You want to hear more. Have they run any kind of promotion before outside of Sparkle Joshi? No. The co-founders are mostly known as producers and directors of short films in Los Angeles. But they've worked on wrestling shows before? No. They've worked at wrestling promotions before? No. Okay. Well, they're Spark Joshi, all right. So Joshi is the Japanese word for female wrestler. Come to term that. But that doesn't mean, just like anime is animation, Joshi is just wrestler, lady wrestler, right? So they must be like Japanese folks, or they're bringing in some Japanese ring crews or something. Why are they using the term Joshi? Well, much like Western anime fans like to use the capital A anime to mean like a certain style of animation, which is of course bullshit. They are using the term Joshi to represent a style of wrestling that is featured primarily in Japan, which is of course fucking bullshit and it does not mean anything. In the same way that you could say, well, I wrestle strong style, Japanese strong style. Well, that's a type of Japanese wrestling. And you could theoretically work the strong style and not be Japanese or part of a Japanese promotion. That's totally fine. But if you're a white person saying that you work strong style, that makes me think that you're an otaku. And if you say we are running a promotion with Japanese talent and also American talent that would fit right in on those Japanese promotions because they work a strong style or a Joshi style. That to me says that you are culturally appropriating. So there's a lot of red flags from the idea that this company is just starting off out of nowhere. Nobody knows who they are. They have not announced if they're partnering with anyone. They have not announced who else is on the cards, either cards, what ring crew they're working with, if they're renting a ring crew, if they're not working with any other promotions. I will tell you this. If you watching this right now, if you want to do a wrestling show, you can fucking do it with no wrestling background, right? You don't have to be an indie wrestler to put on an indie wrestling show. You could fucking do it if you want. I would recommend that you partner with a wrestling promotion that already fucking exists because they've done a lot of the hard work for you. If you want to put on a wrestling event, then it could be like, hey, I'm putting up the money, I have the idea, I can do this, this, and this, and we'll partner with you, and we'll try to bring in some talent outside of what you normally work with because of the event, and we'll do a co-promotion. You don't just be like, hey, we're paying for a well-regarded Japanese wrestler to come over, and we're just going to, like, from the ground up, put on a wrestling promotion out of nowhere, because it sounds like one of two things. It sounds like you are running a scam that you are going to like. And how would this scam work, Pat? Well, you take pre-orders for t-shirts on a website. And then you don't fulfill the pre-orders. And then you sell tickets to an event. And you don't actually have the event. And you don't refund everybody. Because you then just fucking disappear. And then you run the scam as many times as possible under various names until you are finally fully blackballed because everyone eventually knows who you are. That's how you do that scam. Because the wrestling is a carny business and wrestlers can smell a scam but also can't turn down the idea that they at least will agree to possibly make some money. Also, you tell every wrestler, cash day of, right? And then so Ram doesn't get a visa, travel visa, and then you just say you're sightseeing and you do the show. And because your ring name is not the same as your wrestling name, or as your real name, you're good. And they're not going to like pay for her to have like they're not going to sponsor her for a work visa or anything like that. They could, but that would be ridiculous for them to do that. So you do all that. Then also you promise your talent, you'll reimburse travel and you'll set them up. You'll reimburse hotel. But hey, we don't have someone booking that stuff. We're so sorry. We're so new that we don't have anybody set up for that. So if you wouldn't mind paying it for yourself, we'll reimburse you. And then guess what, friends? You ran out of money the day of, so you can't pay. And you also, it's going to take a little while before funds, from the ticket sales that we made and all of that, and the funds that we get from merch, then we'll be able to, of course, pay you eventually, and then you fucking don't. And you just realize that anyone you booked, you can't book again, but that's fine. Because there are a lot of indie wrestlers out there. So that's the incredibly pessimistic, this is definitely a fucking scam view to have on this promotion, right? Well, there's another one that is more charitable on my part. And that is, they're fucking dummies and they don't understand how hard it is to promote and run a wrestling event, how fucking expensive it is, and how you need to do this like coast-to-coast event is nonsense, and they are in way over their heads. That is the charitable view on this is, these dummies don't realize that They saw a Stardom show and they were like, "Hey, why isn't anyone doing this style of wrestling in America?" Or they saw like a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show and said, "That looked fun. We could do that." I mean, we know a guy with a wrestling ring, right? Like, we know event spaces because we put on, like we're talent scouts. We could find this. We could figure this out. We've watched some wrestling. Ash says, if you're running a scam, you need to be aware you probably can't run the same scam forever. Indeed. So the thing about wrestling is you really fucking can run a scam in a lot of places because wrestlers will show up for a wrestling gig, even if it seems sketchy as hell. Even if it seems like, I don't even know if I'm going to get paid for this. But the possibility of getting paid, like, well, I didn't have a booking that day anyway, so sure, I'll take that booking. I'll drive a bunch of, whatever. I just want to be seen by people. And hey, if this promotion is legit, then fuck yeah, then I'll get to run a little bit. And then they just change the name and they don't, go after social media as much. And they just do local. And they like, hey, if you put local wrestlers on your show, they will tell their friends to come, even if they think that it might be sketchy. Because then, their friends are mad at them for a little bit, but they're like, yeah, sorry, I also got fucked over by this. And they'll forgive them. So you can run the wrestling scam quite a bit. You end up, you can't run the same cities anymore. Eventually you get like stuck and you can't run that city that you were just running. So you have to like figure out a new venue to go and run. But you can make it work. I mean, oops, oh shit. Hold on. A part just flew out of my hands. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to get that part. All right. I'm coming back. The surest way, we'll go back to main here. The surest way to fuck up this particular scam, the wrestling scam, the indie wrestling scam, is not paying the venue. If you don't pay the venue, then you are well and truly fucked because venues talk to one another. Wrestlers don't always talk to one another about like bad experiences or like blacklists. Like, oh, this show didn't pay me. Like, maybe they will. But often they just are embarrassed about it. So they don't want to say anything. But if you shortchange or you don't pay a venue, they will tell every fucking person. They'll be like, hey, this person came in. They didn't pay. They didn't pay for this. They damaged this. Hey, do you know this wrestling crew? Do you know these people? And that's an easy way. Hey, Nathan just says, hey, Pat, and just subscribed for 11 months. Thank you so much. We're going to hit the old applause there. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the leg of the site, the moat in the chat. And thank Nathan for subscribing with Prime. We are currently at 35 subscribers out of 40, friends. We are so close to the minimum, our goal. At 40, I shut up about it. But we're very close to that, which is rad. And then we're one piece away from from completing this arm. We've gotten a lot done here on stream, and we got more stream to come, of course. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that because it was a good chance to talk about weird indie promotions and also this fucking vibe I get off of this. This has a lot of how hard could it be vibes, right? I don't want to say right off the bat that Spark Joshi is a fucking scam, but I do think that they are completely misunderstanding how difficult it would be to run a wrestling promotion like they are doing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've got a lot of fucking funding. Maybe they're partnering with people who know what they're doing and just for some reason they don't want to shout those partners out and instead they only want to talk about the co-founders who have no fucking experience in anything outside of one of the people is a director of short films and also covers music on a YouTube channel that she links everywhere, but then says it's just for friends and family. Then why are you linking it on your Instagram? Because you're just a blonde-haired woman in her late 20s / early 30s doing cover songs. And I don't think you're religious, but you're definitely spiritual. Just like, what is the what are the vibes here? The vibes are not great, is what I'm saying. Let's get an arm on here. Hell yeah. Got an arm on this kit. Our weirdo kit. Such a weird thing. The Gaza-C has a lot going on. It's going to look fantastic with this glitter paint. Wrong way. The Cream Coat Glitter Explosion is the paint that I will be using on this kit and also on our lovely Farsia kit for Plastic Model Weekender. I will be going and making all of this look beautiful. Basically, anywhere that is pink and white on this kit is going to, or light pink is going to get a treatment, or light purple, I should say. It's going to get that. Not the clear base, but this base certainly as well. And then I think not the rubber, but basically everything else that's not like clear or the clear green there this is also gonna get lovely glitter all over it. This glitter paint looks rad. I'm really looking forward to having a fun time making this thing glittery as hell. That's going to be Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern until 1 p.m. Eastern. 2-hour shift. No stream Thursday night since I'm streaming during the day, and I didn't want to do it twice because also then I'd be competing with Plastic Model Weekender, and I didn't want to do that. Saturday, normal stream time, and then we'll go raid Plastic Model Weekender after that. And then that's the last stream of the month, and then May. It'll be May. And I'll have to... again, tomorrow my $10 patrons will get to vote on what I start on Saturday because I'm going to finish this kit off stream. So I'll have to start something new on Saturday. And I don't know what that's going to be yet. It could be the real grade that I have for 2012, which is probably going to be a pain in the ass to build. Or I got another kit. I forget how to say the name of it, but I got another grunt kit from Witcher Mercury. We are going to talk about Witcher Mercury after the pause for the cause. We've got 3 anime shows to talk about, and then we'll talk about some manga, because usually we do that on Mondays, but we didn't do that yesterday because I had streaming other places. But we'll also talk about that. Let's see. Is there anything real quick I want to say? There's a new WWE has a new heavyweight championship belt, and you're like, well, Pat, does that mean that because they already had a heavyweight championship, and they had they have the world title, and they also have the universal title. Did they combine those two? No. This is a third world title. Does that make any fucking sense? No. Do I think that they're going to consolidate some of the belts? Yes. Did they want to have a belt, a world? Are they, at the behest of the government of Saudi Arabia, creating a new belt so they can have a new world champion decided at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia because Roman Reigns isn't going to go there? Probably. It's probably why. It's probably that. Sucks. I mean, it's a match I won't see live or ever because I don't watch the Saudi Arabia shows. So I won't know what happens. But yeah, it's all kinds of fucked. The belt itself I like. Some people don't like it. It's a big gold belt that also has a big WWE logo in the center. And that's what their world titles look like. That has the shape of the big gold, makes me so angry. I mean, they can, and so they are. That's also the belt that Triple H loves. So I'm not surprised that's what they made it look like. It is a new heavyweight title. That's weird. It's like the 3rd or 4th new heavyweight title they've made over the years. I do think at some point they have to consolidate some of the belts because it's weird that they're going to have 3 world title belts, 2 of which are only defended at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know who's going to get that belt. It would be... The thing is, people are like, oh, it's got to be Cody Rhodes, right? And I'm like, no. I don't think you have America's favorite son, Cody Rhodes, win a world title in Saudi Arabia. Because I don't think... I don't know if Cody's going to be on that show. You know what I mean? Because I think the optics of that are just so weird. Because like America is such like a part of the American Nightmares gimmick that I don't know what the fuck. I just don't think. So I don't think Cody's going to be the inaugural champion. I think Cody's destiny is to eventually, once again, actually this time, defeat Roman. I think that's his destiny. So I don't think it's winning that belt. Who wins that belt? I don't fucking know. Finn Balor? Seth Rollins? I don't know. Gunther would have to lose the Gunther could have the Intercontinental title and that. So maybe Gunther wins. I don't know. You know, they're certainly pushing him a lot. I don't know. I don't know who wins that belt. Bobby Lashley? Could be Bobby Lashley. But yeah, we got a big belt. I like the look of it. As Dan the Belt Man says, while some people always hated it, a lot of people grew to love the spinner belt. You can never really tell with a belt until you see it around somebody's waist or over someone's shoulder how you feel about that belt. Because like one of those, there are a couple NWA belts that are unbelievably gorgeous until you see someone hold it and it's so small that you're like, oh, you carry that belt like a briefcase. You can't put that around your waist. You're too big a man. Like there are a few belts that like just don't look right when you're holding them, or you know when you got them. But like a photo of them, you're like hell yeah. So we won't really know until someone holds that over their heads, and then you'll probably be like, oh yeah, all right. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's weird. They should just consolidate the other two belts. I mean, they didn't. They should unify those two belts. But they haven't. I don't know why they aren't. It's weird. That's a weird thing. Anything else before we get into it? I don't want to talk about that, so we're not going to talk about that. Let's see. What do you got for me, Kotaku? Let's see. Diablo 4 respecking will be essentially free up to a point. There's going to be some early in your character. It'll be easier to make adjustments, and then later it will be more difficult, which sounds cool. So it'll be easier to reroll, similar to Diablo 3. Cheap to the point that it's essentially free, which sounds good. That sounds great. Today, Sweden's space agency tried to launch a rocket into space and hit a mountain in Norway. Yes, I did hear that. I did hear about that. I mean, hey, you know, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Sometimes you try to launch a rocket into space, it crashes into a mountain in a neighboring country. And then everybody's just like, hey, so that happened. And hopefully you move on from it. And you hope it doesn't become a whole fucking thing. And if it does become a whole fucking thing, then everybody learns something at some point, right? You gotta walk before you can run, right? Let's see, anything else? I think that's it. I think we'll get into... We're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. Then we'll come back and continue working on this cool arm. I'm going to pop out whatever pieces I need to get this done here. So either C16 or C29. Which one do we want? Let's do C29. We'll mix it up. C29. Then A17 and B16. I'm just going to get all these pieces that I need for this here. And then we'll take a pause to the cause. We'll come back and then we'll finish up this other arm. And then we'll talk about some anime and some manga. Of course, one manga. Slightly different than my normal manga reviews. because I was reading something a little slower. I'm a little more grounded. A slice of life with 0 fantasy elements. That's pretty good. Let's see. I need A17. Great. All right. Okay. And we'll be able to assemble that all up there in a moment. But first things first. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the leg of the site, then the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Putting an emote in the chat lets people know, hey, I'm a subscriber here. I'm giving Pat $5 a month, or I'm using my Prime Gaming token like Nathan did. Or you could, you're using cash money like Aristocrat. Those are ways to do it. You get those emotes. You don't see ads during the stream, and you let people know, oh, hey, this is a thing you get. And you benefit Pat directly, which is lovely. Before we move on, I'll just say I want to read more cute stories about girls having pleasant lives, to be honest. Well, there is a girl in this one. It is not girls plural, but it is a singular girl and also a gentleman. And it's pretty good, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And then Lord Christ says, I realized today that the canonical name for the dog in Chicory is Pizza. It was very confused by the plushie news until then. Yes. My dog, my main character, me, in Chicory was Pizza, because it says, what's your favorite food? And I put pizza, and that's not what everyone puts, but it is what a lot of people put when they're asked what their favorite food is. They put pizza, so the, default is pizza, because it's probably the most likely answer. Anyway. Being a subscriber is the easy way to support what I do here. If you wouldn't mind putting those, if you're a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in the chat. We are currently at 35 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is always 40. We're trying to hit that goal. If you want to become a subscriber now, this would be a perfect time to do it, so we can all say thank you to you. Also, if you want to gift a sub, you could join Aristofan on the gift sub leaderboard. Aristofan's the only gift subber this entire month. And we only have one more stream after this one left. So if you want to be a subscriber and get on the board, you could do that. Bits and coins, also always appreciated. Harold did that earlier today. If you want to do that, I do the cha-ching noise and say thank you, and that's fun. That's a thing you can do. That's another way to support what I do here. Everything I'm talking about here is, of course, optional. Now, there are ways outside of the Twitch ecosystem to support me, which is nice that there are options. Like my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Everything from just giving me $1 and getting a Q&A at the end of every month, which also reminds me I should do that because I'm going to be kind of busy this weekend with Plasma Weekender. I should probably try to do that on Thursday or Friday. I gotta do that. I'm writing myself a note because I just realized I should probably ask for Q&A questions and do it this weekend. Fuck. Q&As, monthly Q&As to $3. You get to vote once a month on what I do on a Tuesday stream. To $5, you get videos early. $10, you get to vote on what I build. And I do that consistently and several times a month saying like, hey, here's some options. Let me know what you want me to build. So that's my Patreon. Also, I have a YouTube. Subscribing to my YouTube is free. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do that. Because, subs are free there. But also, you can become a member for $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that goes out tomorrow, you could just look back at the Patreon post or the YouTube post that I put up of it that went up today. And you don't have to wait till tomorrow. So that's pretty good. And there's also direct donations, coffee, PayPal, and stream elements. I have hit my coffee goal. So any donations that go to coffee right now go to model kits because those are one-time donations. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me. Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund. I take money out of that and I buy model kits. This kit, the Gaza-C, I bought for Plastic Model Weekender with the funds that I got generously from all of you over time. So I appreciate y'all very much for that. That's very kind of you. But I could not have done that without your support. That fucking rules. Let's see. Now, I mentioned earlier that my patrons get to vote on what I built. There's a way around that. There's like this hidden thing that means that I don't do that, which is if you buy something from one of my many wish lists, it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing I build on stream. So I got an Amazon wish list, and yeah, if you buy something like that, I don't dig into my backlog. I build the thing you purchased. I've got Lego sets. I've got model kits. I've got inexpensive kits. I got expensive kits. I just put up this Lego 3-in-1 motorcycle kit, which also is a drag car and another bike. And that's on sale. That dropped in some price. That's a 3-in-1 that I'd love to put together. And you could spend money and then I'll put that together. I've got Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. Kits with free shipping, kits without free shipping, kits that have dropped in price, kits that never fucking drop in price, and in fact have increased in price. So take a look at that list, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build on stream, and yeah, you can. And I'll do a dedicated video for my YouTube, and it'll be something I build. And there's gear at the bottom because sometimes it's just nice to have some gear. Sometimes that's just cool. So see if there's anything there you'd like to see me put together, and I would. Happy to do that. Oh, shit. I just noticed that the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline GTR is up here on Amazon, and that is going on my wish list. I'm adding that to my wish list right now because I'd love to put together the Nissan Skyline GTR from Too Fast, Too Furious. That sounds silly in a way that I can definitely get behind. So that's now on the wish list. That would be fun to build. John says, get Pat to build a model of your choice with this one weird trick. Indeed, John. Hi, John. It's a hack. Where I'll build the thing you want me to build as long as you buy it. Okay, also, there's a throne wish list. You want to jump over on my throne wish list, you can take a look at that. It's a lot of gift cards and some gear. I need to update it. It's been a little while since I last looked at Throne. No one has ever bought anything from Throne, but they're a good company. They got a good mission. I like them. And then, of course, USA Gundam Store, you could just buy a gift card from them. You get a gift card code in your email, and then you could DM me on Twitter, because my DMs are open, or send me a whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code. And I would use that gift card code to buy a model kit, and then I would build that model kit on stream, just like if you had bought it off another wish list. All right, so let me just check a thing here. Checking that. Okay, great. Everything's good. If you want to support me for free, we'll get back to building in just a moment. I got a Discord. You can just jump in the old Discord. That's a lovely way to support me and hang out with people. Post some photos if you're working on anything. I love seeing photos. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to say? A couple of video links for you to check out. I put up a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club on Monday. This is my spring 2023 recommendations. That's right. I got a lot of anime recommendations for you, and you should check it out over at Pat Baer's Anime Club. I have some new shows to recommend. I have returning shows to recommend, and I've got a couple that are like, well, there's only been an episode or 2 episodes of the show so far. Like, maybe, I don't know. Like, it's hard to recommend a show that's only had 1 episode, but it seems neat. So maybe Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts will be good. So I threw that up there. Excuse me. Oof. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I promise I have rehearsed it. I have done some amount of preparation for the thing that I'm about to perform. And then I perform it. And they're character pieces or just silly sketch ideas. This one is very short. It is a shower thought of a silly joke that I just had to record. And then I did. The doctor will see you now. That's pretty much the start of it. And the end of it comes pretty soon after. The one that goes up tomorrow is more involved than that. So check it out. Let's see. Other things. That's it. We're going to get into some manga. We're going to do some anime first and then some manga talk. So we'll get into some anime discussion first and then again jump into the manga at the end. And I can't do that before I drink a little water and dramatically transition back to the overhead camera to finish this arm. So let's do that right now, dramatically. All right. Anime. It's what everyone's talking about. I mean, it's what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to talk about Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witcher Mercury Season 2, The Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far, and I got a cheat ability in a different world and became extraordinary even in the real world. So we'll talk about all three of those. First things first. I actually need A16 as well. Sorry, C16. Hey, this episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, Witcher Mercury, is not as wild as some other episodes, but it still had a few twists and turns. It is certainly not the big reveal of last episode. If you were wondering, hey, whatever fucking happened to Ghoul? Well, hey, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, as always, and talk to you soon. Goodbye, Ash. If you were like, hey, Pat, what happened to Ghoul? What's Ghoul up to? Well, Ghoul has been a prisoner of Dawn of Fold this whole damn time. Did not escape. And basically, the organization has, the Dawn of Fold has decided to abandon the base and evacuate refugees. And then also, Nika and Saris are prisoners at the Grassley House, which, and Shadiq. Remember Shadiq? He's going to sell the Bennett Group's assets to Earth to kind of remove a power imbalance between Earth and space. And that is definitely a betrayal of his dad. But compared to the other betrayals of parents in this series, this is almost cute compared to some of the other betrayals of the nature of this very program. This one is almost like, yeah, all right. That's probably okay. Sort of. Dawn of Fold start evacuating. Then they're being pursued. We have this whole thing with like Olcott, who like switched sides after a child died because everything is for kids in this series. It's all about parents and kids in this show. That is an overarching element of this series. But in this case, like, oh yeah, my son died, so now I want to help you out. A bunch of people die, just like a whole lot of fucking people that we don't know die in this. Ghoul escapes and tries to save a child and fails to do so. That it's like caught in the crossfire there. And so Ghoul is fucking like feeling awful about that. But Olcott lets Ghoul go. And Ghoul is like, I'm going to space and I'm going to save my dad's company, which is, I guess, noble. I don't know. Bob's complicated. Bob is very much not complicated, but like, we still feel for Bob. Bob's going through a lot. Poggy, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. We're talking about this most recent Sunday's episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witcher Mercury. So let's see, what else happens to this? Mjolnir asks her father's aid about Quiet Zero. What's going on with Quiet Zero? And basically it's just like, hey, yeah, so Quiet Zero was your mom's plan. And hey, I bet you shouldn't do it. don't follow your dad's plan, because I bet this is not going to turn out good. Which I'm going to assume that, what was this character's name? Rajan? I think Rajan is fucking right. My guess is, hey, we talked about this before, but I need to reiterate that naming a project Quiet Zero already is a red flag. Like, that already sounds like it fucking is not going to be good or cool. Lashberg says, glad she knew better than take Prospera at her word about it. Yeah. I mean, also, let's not forget that, like, it's anime. So, wild hairstyles, weird vibes, all that stuff, right? But, like, Prospera just reads as untrustworthy. Like, she just has the vibe. She's like, I don't think is trying that well at hiding. That's like, oh, you might be hiding who you really are, but like, you're not hiding what you're fucking about. Like, you are bad news, lady. It's like, you have a pure-hearted daughter, who's just fucking trying her goddamn best, but you are definitely not great. All right, we gotta build some shields here. This kid has 2 shields. She has been extremely mask off figuratively. Yes, she's very much like, hey, here's the shit I'm about. Here's me. Here's my vibes. You want to marry my daughter for honor reasons or whatever? You need to know that this is what I'm into, and she does what I want her to do. So that's Mobile Suit Gundam. Again, obviously, a lot of people we don't know and we didn't see before were murdered, and that's bad, certainly. But this was not like a bunch of big problems. This was like little problems. Which is good, because last episode was fucking heavy as hell. I mean, look, do we want Ghoul to be going through traumatic events? No. We'd like Bob to have a good time. Bob's not going to have a great time. Because he's a simple man. He's an early enemy to friend, and that it's rough. Gundam is rough for enemies to friends. Longtime enemies to friends usually does okay. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Friends to enemies ends up working out okay at the end. Often. Not always, but often. Longtime enemies to friend usually last very little time, because it is just, well, I'm going to die doing something pretty cool. So Ghoul could have it worse, because Ghoul could be on my death, in the moment before I die, I will do something uplifting and positive for the heroes for no real good reason other than plot elements. So, Ghoul's not in that spot, at least. But, not great. Let's talk about the Aristocrats' Otherworldly adventure, serving gods who go too far. So Kine, basically is just like, hey, because of all of the benefits and gifts you all gave me, I'm almost like a demigod level, and I'm a young person, and that sounds bad. Now we, as the audience, know that they are we don't know exactly what we're gearing up for, but we know that they are gearing him up for some sort of big challenge. But he doesn't know that. One of the reasons why they've given him so many gifts and abilities and growth potential is because they need him to be very powerful by the time he's like 16, because shit's going to hit the fan, apparently. And we're not quite sure what's going on with that. But he doesn't know that. So they're like, look, hey, don't focus on that. We're bored. Because this world is kind of starved for entertainment. So, like, do you think you could help us out? Because, like, we saw bits and pieces of Japan, and that place seemed like it had some shit going on in it. How about you bring some of that to this world? Which is like wild of the gods, because like normally you do have those things. You have those like moments where, oh yeah, so while I'm here, like I have this knowledge of my home, dimension or planet or whatever world, and I'll bring that knowledge to this world, and it'll be kind of fun. And they're just like, hey, like, any games or whatever. I think that's kind of wild and fun. Like they're the ones making the request. All right, we did one shield. We got one shield done. We got another shield to do. And this shield, unfortunately, has a bunch of stickers. And then also, there's a sticker that goes on the arm. Oh, that goes on both arms? Or is it both sides? I think it does go on both arms. All right, let me do that first. Then we'll build the shoulder there. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we got 2 stickers here to apply. Apply those, and then we'll... love how you switch back and forth between both names. Oh, are you talking about how I sometimes call him Kane and sometimes I call him Kine? They do call him Kine, and I try my best. Or are you talking about how I call Ghoul and Bob the same name, and I go back and forth between Ghoul and Bob? That's on purpose. This Kine and Kane is not on purpose because I did not realize that it was spelled... Oh, Bob and Ghoul. Yes, I go back and forth between Bob and Ghoul. I read his name in the manga as Kane, and then when I started watching the anime, they were pronouncing it as Kine, and so I'm trying to call it Kine because that's how they pronounce it in the Japanese. Anyway, what else happens this year? Okay, so he visits Parna, the cat girl. He's apparently known since childhood, but we never really meet. But we met her, I think, once because I think that's in the manga. They just kind of skipped over it, and now we just got a flashback. Anyway, he helped her out in the past, and her uncle runs a store, like a big chain, and he's just like, hey, I've got this idea for a board table game. The Demon Kane is not in this, no. I've got this idea for a game. It's called Rehearsed, and basically he sells the patent of Rehearsed to this company. And they sign before the god of commerce. So the business deal is guaranteed for 3 years because gods are influence a bunch of stuff, including commerce. Makes sense. So the engagements he has with Silk and Telestia are both secret still. So the debut ceremony happens with them, and so a bunch of guys are like hitting on the girls because they don't know that they're engaged because he needs to raise his rank. So he basically just has to he pretends like he hasn't met them before. He's just like, oh, it's an honor to, like he's acting like it's fine because he's always had a lot that he's had to pretend about, so it's okay. But he has to pretend like he's just meeting them for the first time, and that he's not engaged to marry them. Kine gives the king an extravagant, like a really fancy version of the Rehearsed board because the king's needs to be special. And then there's like a shitty dude, Habit. He's a real shitbag little guy. He's trying to woo Silk, and like. It's like, what? No. So she just ignores him because, she's engaged. And then Kine, they're like, well, we're going to punish this guy. And they try to, they got shitty teen, young adult spells. Like, they're just shitty nobles that haven't ever tried to use magic, really had to work and study magic before. So they're not doing great to mess with him. And then Silk is just annoyed because Kine's in a tough spot. So hey, he's a fucking baron. The king made this dude a baron for work that he's done. And they're like, oh shit, we fucked up. We can't insult the baron. because they're viscounts, so they have to apologize. And then to kind of keep it on the down low, Silk and Celestia are like, all right, well, you have to give us dates. And they're like demanding that he go on dates with them because he hasn't really dated them because they're young. And also because he's young in this body and it's weird. And so then the king and his dad over here, and they're mad at Kine for being a womanizer because they think like that they think it's like his idea. He's like, no, what? It's a funny misunderstanding anyway. Hey, guess what? He's going to be engaged to more ladies probably by the maybe it doesn't happen until the next season of the anime if they do more than one season, but like it's coming. There's more. There's definitely more. Sorry. These go on this. Oh, that's the other. Okay, so there's some other stickers that go on here that they're numbered stickers that I'm not going to be putting on. I could put on some other stickers here, the water slides, but I'm not going to worry about that because I want to get glitter on this. So I'm not going to do that. These last stickers are for something else. So, wait, yes. Yeah, so there are some other stickers I could put on here that I'm not going to because I think that it would look bad to put them on if I want to put glitter. But I did miss a step here, so I do have to pop this apart, which luckily I don't should be able to do here. But I did fuck this up because I missed out on PCN, so to do that. And the last show is I got a cheat ability in a different world, became extraordinary, even the real world, which had a lot of action in this episode, but unfortunately, some of the action didn't look particularly great because action is not the strong suit of this series, which is a bummer because this is a mix of like slice of life and also action. So it is kind of a bummer that these fight scenes did not look that good. But if you like an overpowered main character dealing with fucking bullies and just making them question everything about themselves, that this is probably a good episode. I think I like this episode better than the last one, the fucking mall one, the model one. So, Lexia, the princess, went to go visit our boy in the fantasy world for Yuya, and like again, because he's strong and she respects strong people, she does want to marry him, and he is like, "Hey, what? Why? Hey, what? You're the princess. What's going on?" But he's like, "I'd like you to come meet the king," and so they make arrangements to have an audience with the king of the kingdom. But turns out, you know how he saved her from a bunch of assassins? And they shouldn't have even known where they were and what was happening. Those assassins were sent by the first prince of the kingdom. That's right. He tried to kill his own sister. So that's bad and will probably come to a head at some point. But now we know where those people showed up and how they managed to get so far and how they were gonna fucking kill her. Well, that's because they were sent by her brother. Fucked up. And then on Earth, Yuya begins his life at the academy. He's just hanging out in the academy. And he makes friends with some students there. You got like a jock, you got like a nerd, you got like the popular, attractive, very hot young lady. You've got the like spunky, like sports young lady. I don't think there's a nerd lady there. And then there's Kaide, and then like they're hanging out, they're doing some stuff, and then like a rogue soccer ball gets kicked into the stands, and a girl falls, and she's definitely going to fucking fall and get really hurt. But then he like springs out of nowhere and helps her and catches her, and someone comments that's just like out of a manga, like that's straight up out of a superhero manga, because he is really impressive. And everyone's just like, and to Yuya, to our boy Yuya, like, school is fucking rad. Like, everybody's really nice and they're welcoming, and they're really interested in, like, him. And he's having a great time. He's not, like, necessarily 100% sure he's going to, like, stick with this because he probably doesn't think he deserves it. Because, you know, he's got a low opinion of himself, even after his change. But we knew that this was coming. A gang shows up because his younger siblings have hired the Red Ogres to come and humiliate our boy because they didn't get accepted at this prestigious school, but their dorky older brother did just because he got, like, you know, cooler all of a sudden. Like, you know your place. And this is the fight scene that does not, at some points, does not look expensive. It does look like they cut some corners in this particular battle, which is a little frustrating. But he whoops a bunch of people's asses, including tossing a dude who's the leader of the gang. Decides he's going to chase our boy on a motorcycle. Like, okay, so a bunch of grunts with weapons all easily get defeated by this one guy. And then, like, the sub-boss, who is, like, a big dude that wears flip-flops and he's, like, kind of a sumo guy, but not really a sumo guy, he just gets his momentum, like, completely taken from him and gets beat up. So our leader decides that, like, the best course of action is for me to try to hit you with my motorcycle. It does not go well, and the motorcycle explodes. And everything's fine. Then the cops show up and to arrest them because they're, threatening violence and, trespassing and all that. But then, and of course, our, let's see, 1450. This is 13. This is not the right piece. Put that over there. Oh, I actually do need that. Never mind. I do need 13. Great. But yeah, so that happens, and the younger brother and sister are just, like, shocked that all this had happened, and they're in trouble, of course. But then the leader of the ogres, like, breaks free. Hey, Leader J just raided. Welcome Raiders. I was just talking about an anime. I'm just finishing up chatting about an anime, and we're going to talk about some manga in a minute, but welcome everybody. I'm Pat Baer. I'm building a model kit called the Gaza-C. It is from Zeta and Double Zeta. It's an older Gundam thing. It's a grunt. It's a weird kit. I mean, it just looks odd. It's got, like, a transformation where, like, it folds in on itself, and then this becomes, like, and then it folds over, and then it's a gun. It's got, like, that kind of mode. It's a weird thing. But welcome, Raiders. Happy to have you here. Anyway, the end of, I got, this week's, I got cheat ability in a different world and became even extraordinary, even in the real world. I didn't say the full title correctly. This dude that breaks away from police custody tries to attack our hero and gets easily defeated, because, of course, he does. Because our main guy leveled up in a fantasy world, but then can return back and forth to the real world. And Yuya is a good boy, and good things are finally happening to this guy. He was a good person before, and now he's also still a good person, and we're happy for him because he's a good guy. So Sax, I will actually describe this stuff right now. Thank you for asking me about it. So the Plamo Weekender is happening, and I'm gonna promote as people came in. So I am part of a charity event that is happening this Thursday through this Sunday. My shift is 11 a.m. until Eastern until 1 p.m. Eastern. This Thursday, April 27th, but it's happening day and night on the 27th, and also that Friday, the 28th, and then Saturday, the 29th, it's running 24 hours into Sunday. I forget exactly how many hours straight it's running, but it'll be overnight. Model kit builders from all over the place. It's at twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender, and it benefits the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. Specifically, that is the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. We're going to use Tiltify for donations, and donations open up on the 27th, so on Thursday. The Cure Alzheimer's Fund is one of the types of charities where it is not raising awareness, it is actively pursuing a cure for Alzheimer's. So your money goes to research. The board of directors of the Cure Alzheimer's Fund do not receive a paycheck. Your money goes to them. So that is a lovely charity. It was started by my friend Jason, aka Bad Gunpla, who started doing events in 2019, and then in 2021 started the Plamo Weekender. But he was raising funds for that charity even before that. And I will be taking this kit and this kit right here, the Farsia, and I will be adding glitter paint to them. So I'm going to be customizing these kits to make them sparkly and beautiful, because the unofficial/official theme this year is Magical Girl. So some people are doing that. I decided to pick two objectively beautiful in the eyes of the beholder kits. The Farsia is a lovely looking mobile suit, just beautiful colors. And the Gaza-C is a weird looking kit, but I just want to see what glitter looks like on these different, like on the maroons, like all the different colors here. I think it's going to look fucking fantastic. So that's this weekend. Please come if you can. For my shift, every $50 donated, total, cumulative, during my shift, that will mean it is time for me, your friend Pat, to open a pack of cards that I have. These are cards from anime, movies, television, and sports. And I will open them. I will pause what I'm doing to open up those card packs. And that's cumulative. So you don't have to donate $50 for that to happen. If you donate $5 and enough people donate, up to get me to 50, every time I hit 50 from when my shift starts at 11 a.m. Eastern until it ends at 1 p.m. Eastern, then I will be working on that. So hopefully that'll all work out and everybody will be very pleased. All right, so we are working on this kit. I'm going to be finishing this kit up on my free time tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night while I watch wrestling, I'll be completing this kit because I want to have it ready for my stream on Thursday. Normally, I only build during my actual streams, but I'm making a special exception because I want to make sure that I have this completed. Also, if I have to stop every once in a while to open up packs, I'm more than happy to, because that means I'm raising fucking money. But if I do have to stop to open up packs, it's a lot easier to just like have something simple like painting. And I rarely customize. We've done one kit bashing stream on here. We've never done a custom paint job or anything like that. So this will be a fun experiment to see how it looks. I did a test piece not too long ago here, so you can kind of get a sense of the glitter. You can see it in the light. It's great. It's not too gloopy. It will probably flake off if I really put a lot of pressure on it. I could flake this off. I should probably get a clear coat spray to spray over it to kind of lock it in place. I have not made a purchase of that. It's something I'm considering. I don't know if I'm definitely going to do it or not, but I'm considering getting a clear coat. But yeah, I'm going to talk about a manga that I have been reading. I'm going to give you a manga recommendation as we get closer to the end of the stream. And that manga is called The Coppersmith's Bride. I have read all of Volume 1 of this and some of Volume 2. Coppersmith, somebody that works with copper. We've got a young man and a young lady. They have been friends since childhood. They have been through some rough times together. They are best friends. And one day, towards the beginning of the manga, he says, well, we should probably make it official, right? And so he proposes, and she accepts. And now she's in college. He is working in the family business, which is being a coppersmith, making things out of copper. And his parents are out of the picture. There's been some sad times. But he does work with his grandparents, who are kind of gruff and maybe pretty accepting of her, but like could certainly be more accepting. Ooh, I just realized I need to make. Actually, I need to actually make 4 of these because I didn't make enough of this. So, because this has to go like that. Yeah. All right. Okay. I thought I was being clever because I was like, oh, I did both of these. I actually needed to make 4 of these because each of these needs to be 1. I got this. I understand now. It's a little. Sometimes it's tough to read instructions here because they're not giving me much as far as English in these. So occasionally it's a little difficult, but you figure it out. So I only made 1 of these, and I need to make 2 of them because we're working on. I believe these are the feet. We're working on the feet here. But we'll complete the foot, and then we'll go back and build the other components we need to complete the other foot. So we'll start that. Maybe we can complete the feet tonight. Anyway, the Coppersmith's Bride is like a lovely little slice of life of this like couple, like him trying to he's trying to prove himself to his grandfather so he can really like move up, and he's living in the shadow of his father, who he has a complicated relationship with, because of course he does. And she's like, can I really marry into this family? Like, like, is my cooking getting up to where it needs to be recognized? Am I like, I like watching him work, but I don't really know a lot about the business. So, like, what are my friends going to think about this? Like, I'm engaged. What does that even mean? And it's very slow paced. And it's lovely. I would say maybe don't read all of it in a row. Like, I don't know if you can get it chapter to chapter. I got it volume 1 and volume 2. I don't know if there's more, if it's a complete story. I don't have that information handy for you. But I do know that, like, I do kind of wonder, I'm like, should I have been reading, like, I think if I was reading this monthly, it would be even better. And I do like what I'm reading, but, like, maybe I would like it even more if I was taking my time with it. I'm not fully sure. But I am really enjoying the Coppersmith's Bride. I'll be reading more of that this weekend. Of course, also this weekend, I got the Plastic Model Weekender coming up. Saturday, normal stream time. Come check that out. That's going to be lovely. That'll be a fun time. You want to come hang out here on Saturday as we start a new kit. And also, I'll talk about all the anime. I need to think about things to talk about on Thursday. Like, obviously, I'm going to talk about model kit stuff during that stream. But I'm going to have to, like, I don't know, I'll probably end up just talking about wrestling or anime or something on Thursday. I haven't quite decided yet. Also, I might have some audio guests of other people in Plastic Model Weekender. That's my thought. My guess is that I might have some people stop in, so that'll make things easier, because then I'll have some people chat with me. I don't think I'm going to continue this kit after the stream ends tonight. I'll probably just finish it all tomorrow, because I still have to do the legs and the base. The legs, the waist, and the base. So it's not like I have a lot left, but I do have some amount of kit left. And then it does transform into mobile armor. Just like, that's the whole thing is. What are we talking about here? But it does come with its own base, which is nice. I do like that. That's good. Let's finish this other foot, and then we'll probably call the stream there. But because then all I just do is legs and stuff, and I'll probably just, like I said, I'll probably just do it tomorrow night while I am watching wrestling, because I can listen to wrestling and look up. It'll just take longer than normal, but that's the plan anyway. C11 and 12, great. Okay, there. But yeah, I also have to do a Q&A thing. It'll probably be Thursday night instead of my stream or something. But I have to send an email out tomorrow about that, asking for questions for my Patreon Q&A. Or maybe I'll do it. I'll probably end up filming that on Friday. That's my guess. It'll probably be on Friday that I do that, because I will have, I won't have my afternoon because I'll be on a stream, but I will have my night tomorrow, and then I'll also have Friday to do stuff. And then Saturday streams and all of that. I want to hear from you, friends. We got a couple minutes left in the stream. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? I mean, I'm the usual Hearthstone every day. Various, other stuff. Marvel Snap, I have taken off my phone because I realize I'm definitely, for the time being anyway, done with Marvel Snap, but I'm still playing Hearthstone. I'm set on Power Wash Simulator. I have finished the 3 bonus stages, so that is done. I finished that up today while I was doing while I had some things on. I just finished up Power Wash Simulator. That continues to be a very fine game that I enjoy very much. And the bonus stages were fun. But I want to hear from you. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you up to? If you're watching any anime, you're watching any TV shows, getting caught up on some stuff, go to the movies. You're going to watch that Ray Romano comedy that's out that I don't know the name of, but I do know exists because my mom went to go see it this week. So, yeah, if you're like, oh, I can't wait to watch this, like, funny, touching story about Ray Romano and his nephews or whatever. He's in construction. I don't know what the deal is with that, but let me know. I only know because my mom went to see it, so she has seen more movies in the theater than I have this year, which is 1. She saw 1 movie in the theater. But we are getting close to wrapping up. If you don't have anything you want to say in chat, you don't have to say anything in chat. It's okay. Sometimes, if you just want to chill and be a lurker or whatever, or you're just like, I don't know, Pat, I didn't do anything. I'm working for the weekend. I didn't watch anything since Saturday's stream. I don't know what to tell you, Pat. I got nothing for you. It's okay. Nathan tried to get back into Hearthstone, but I just hate how you you can just infinitely generate cards. Yes. This is a bad meta right now, Nathan. The Druid decks are just generate every card in your deck, pull every card, play every card, then make it so your opponent has nothing in their deck, and then also make it so that they can't do anything. It sucks. Does suck right now. And then also there's like a rogue deck that just shuts everything. There's just a bunch of decks that just shut everything down and let you stop having fun. And so it's a little rough. Even in Wild, there are some decks that I just auto concede to. Like turn 3, if I don't have my silly combo, I'm out and I'm not doing it. Nathan, sorry, that was Nathan. John says in between shows, been enjoying Mega Man Battle Network, hell yeah, and maybe playing some of that Hokai Star Rail on Friday. Okay. Aristocrat says waiting for Jedi. Pretty boring here. I hear you. Lashbrook downloaded Visual Pinball and been playing pinball in ways some might consider unnatural. Oh, I mean, yes, that is visual. Lord Crashington finished up the last of the new Power Wash Simulator jobs, the bonus jobs, which was fun. I'm curious how they're going to handle adding cosmetics or whatever to the game, since everybody that's beaten the game and done all the bonus stuff has a ton of money to spare. Yeah, I don't know. I get time unlocks. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, it feels like that's something you tie to new versions, but I don't know if there are new versions coming out. Yeah, it is weird. And then Lashmer says people actually make their own tables in that game, including the fake license tables, like a master and commander table. Oh, in Visual Pinball. That's good. I think that's great. I think that's neat. It's weird, but I think that's neat. Anyway, I'm going to take a photo of this kit on my own time because we're done here. That is going to do it for tonight's stream. I'm going to finish this kit on my own, and you will see the results on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, reminder, tomorrow I am going to be hanging out with Jeff Gersman from 1 p.m. Eastern until like around 4 p.m., like give or take. I'm going to be hanging out with Jeff over at twitch.tv/Jeff Gersman. You can find a link to that tomorrow. I'll post a link. That's going to be wild and very fun, so I hope you will hang out with me for that. Let's see. Is there anything else that... I thought I was going to sneeze. I'm not going to sneeze. Great. We're in a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to find somebody cool doing something fun out there that we know, and we're going to go hang out with them. And we do always end with a raid, as John says. Who is doing stuff? Who's doing stuff and things? Um, Will Smith is still looking at birds. Shout out to Will, but we're not going to go raid bird. We're not going to go look at the bird cam. I'm going to find something else for us to look at that's not the bird cam. Who's doing stuff? We got that person. Got that person. I don't know who we're gonna raid. I don't know. We have not raided Matt Wiggins in a hot minute. Matt is playing Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a video game. Believe me. So we're gonna go raid Matt because we haven't raided Matt in a hot minute. And Matt often appreciates what I'm building. So we're gonna go give Matt a raid. Feel free. Whoop! I gotta turn him down in my ears. He's very loud in my ear. We're gonna go raid Matt. Feel free to come along this raid. Reminder again, tomorrow 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific for Jeff. I will be on Jeff Gersman's stream hanging out while he plays video games and promoting Plastic Model Weekender, which is the 27th through the 30th. Hope you will come out to my stream. If not, catch me on Saturday at the regular stream time. I'll see you soon. Thanks for raiding. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.